Now, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has told UK media his country will not be involved in the US blockade of Iranian ports.
We're not supporting blockade, and all of the marshalling diplomatically, politically and capability. We do have minesweeping capability. I won't go into operational matters, but we do have that capability. That's all focused from our point of view on getting the Straits fully open. I want to be really clear about that. In terms of the decisions that I've made as the British Prime Minister in the British national interest, which is where I've focused and anchored all my decision has been very clearly that whatever the pressure, and there's been some considerable pressure, we're not getting dragged into the war. The UK is not getting dragged in. That's not in our national interest, because I'm not going to act unless there's a clear lawful basis and a clear thought-through plan. But equally, I recognise that where British lives are at risk, and they have been at risk in the Middle East and in the Gulf states, it's my responsibility to protect those British lives.
Let's cross live to Rory Challands in London. He's outside number 10 Downing Street. Good to see you, Rory. So Starmer giving us a rough outline of his workings out here. Give us an understanding of how he reached this conclusion.
Well, Keir Starmer's position through the last several weeks at least has been to try to keep the UK as far away from this war as possible, but also do that whilst not antagonising any more than he has done already Donald Trump and the US White House. He's failed in that part of his mission. Donald Trump has singled Keir Starmer out as a weakling, saying that he's no Winston Churchill, even saying that he's more like Neville Chamberlain, that famous UK Prime Minister who appeased Hitler before the beginning of the Second World War. But Keir Starmer is trying to stay unfazed by that, and he is trying to focus on coalition building, trying to get together a multilateral organisation to safeguard the Straits once the conflict has finished. That's the important thing. The UK is not committing any of its assets, including minesweepers, until after they can be sure that there's no more fighting to be done. And he's not being drawn on the insults that are coming his way from Donald Trump. And he's specifically not criticising the US. When pushed this morning on British radio about whether it was the US's responsibility, US's fault for what was going on in the global economy at the moment, he said, no, it was Iran's fault. He was pushed again. What about the US starting this war? No, he wasn't getting drawn on that. Definitely Iran's fault, not the Americans. So he is trying to, I think, stop from burning any more bridges at the moment.
Right, OK. Meanwhile, Rory, we're expecting to hear from Starmer in the House of Commons shortly. We'll carry that speech live when it happens. What are we expecting?
Well, I think probably more of what we have heard so far today. I think he might well update MPs on the latest round of negotiations, on the new plan for the Brits to work together with the French to try and get the Strait of Hormuz open. But we'll have to wait and see what he says when he comes out in front of the Parliament in a few minutes' time.
Yeah, of course, we'll keep a close eye on that. Rory Challands live outside number 10 in London. Thank you.